Hey out there, slot car land. How's everybody doing? As you can see, we're back in the hobby room, home from the Fray. Kind of sad, but you know, you gotta come home sometime. It was a great time racing with these guys. Love these guys. Love the way they respect Elijah. Love talking to him about slot cars and shooting the breeze about old races and old times at the Fray and all that kind of stuff. So it's great to be home. Great to sleep in my own bed again and everything. So I thought we would start, as you guys know, if you've probably seen some of the other Facebook groups, and if you're part of the Fray group, either of the two Fray groups, you probably know that there was a huge controversy between the top two teams between Florida and St. Louis. It all started on Pink Table. I am the only person with footage of the first race, so that's what we're gonna start the Fray coverage with here. I'm sorry to say though, I do not have the second half of the race, or the second half of it's not really a race because it's pretty much all arguing. As you guys, if you don't know, the GoPro tapes in a 17 minutes and 34 second intervals. So it'll tape for 17 minutes and 34 seconds, and then it'll start over and start another 17 and 34 minute clip. I don't know if it's because it's the last clip on the memory card, or if it's a bad memory card, or if it's just a cheap memory card, because these are memory cards I had to buy while I was down there, because the one I bought here wouldn't work in the GoPro. It said it was too big. So I had to buy two memory cards down there. I had to get down there and back before racing started after qualifying, so I went to Walmart, bought two memory cards that were 32 gig, just like the one I have, except it's a different brand, and I came back. So I don't know if that's the issue or what. So I have the first 6 heats of this race, and in the last heat is where the controversy starts. The next clip would have been, there's only one more heat that they ran anyways that's on the next clip, and then after that it's all arguing. And maybe it's the slot car gods saying that we don't need to show this, we don't need to show what happened, we don't need to show, you know, what's what. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the first clip. I'm going to come back and talk to you about the first clip and about the second clip, which for some reason will not play. It taped and it downloaded from the GoPro to the GoPro website for editing, but it won't play. I don't know what it is. So we're going to come back and I'll talk to you guys about that. And then we'll watch, and it's going to be a fairly long video, just to warn you. Then we'll watch the rematch, because both of those will play. So you'll be able to watch the whole rematch of the race that actually decided the championship. And then I'll come back at the end and I'll kind of summarize anything. So as it pertains to the first clip, you can't really hear me talking for some reason. And with all the noise in the hall and everybody talking, because there's other people racing and whatnot, so you can't really hear me. So here's the rundown. In the first heat, at the end of the first heat, it was 10-11. 1 point difference. I'm not sure who was up at that point. After the second heat, I don't know what the score was. I didn't catch the score, but St. Louis was up by 2 points. As you guys know, you get points for finishing places in championship mode, and that's how they score it. 10-lap heats. Your finishing order determines your score, and then they add all the scores up, and then you got who's ahead and who's behind. So at the end of the third heat, the score is 26 and either 32 or 34. I can't remember which. And it's St. Louis is up. At the end of Heat 4, it's a dead tie. 42-42. Now, this is where things get... That's why this race gets so heated, and the fact that it doesn't... That the whole situation blows up. And when I come back after the first clip here, I'll tell you what was I'll let you in on what was going on. Okay? After Heat 5, it was 50-55 Florida. So St. Louis is up, and then Florida come back to tie it, and then Florida surge ahead by 5. After the 6th heat, I don't know the score. I didn't catch it. Nobody said anything, and nobody called it out. So I'm not sure where they were at after that heat, and that's where the controversy starts. In Heat 6, The guy who said he led the whole way didn't win it. So that's where the controversy starts. Let's watch this clip, and then I'll come back, and I'll let you know what the controversy is. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic that I got time to tape this.
We got plenty of guys. Right, that was good. The quick shot comes out. Just checking to make sure you were paying attention.
Jeez, 10 to 11. 1 point.
Green, blue, orange. Green, orange, blue. Clayton. That's why you have to push. I didn't want to grab it. Big guy cover so much crap.
22-20, still 2 points.
33.
St. Louis is up by 2. St. Louis is up by 2.
Wait, that's weird. That is so quick.
Well, it was a fight there for a minute because it was like RC and then it was white and then, what was it, green, white, and then green.
I think I know. I thought it was the car that was rolling out, but it's the body. The body was tight, and so
And it was pulling it.
the car was going. Then it's the corner's better. But everyone's corner's better, and I think it's the shin.
Could be the axle vibrating back and forth.
I think that's the to get it.
It's in. You're in. Don't put it in the dirt, thank you. How you doing, Henry? Keep it in, baby. Keep it in. All right? All about loud.
Green. That's green.
RC. Back 29-34 or 36. St. Louis still up. St. Louis. I think it was 26-32 or 34, something like that.
You don't think St. Louis drove?
No, they fly. They probably fly into San Francisco and then they drive up.
So they rent a car?
They rent a car, yeah. Or they rent multiple cars. Not all of them are from St. Louis though, because he's local. He lives in California. RC's from back east. He's not from St. Louis, but he's from back east.
He's not on the St. Louis team.
Yeah,
He's on Florida's team.
he's on Florida's team, yeah.
But he doesn't live in Florida.
No, he lives in like Minnesota, I think.
You're on it.
I was here, and then over here.
Put somebody in the wall. Let's go. There's a rider. Which one? Yellow.
You all right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, we're on vacation.
You cleaned out.
Oh, it's a tie. 42-42. Elijah, is that third heat or fourth? Is that third or fourth? Was that third or fourth heat? Do you remember?
No.
That was fourth. After four heats. 42-42.
Oh, that car right there. Run, Clint. Rick, good run. Good run, RJ. Good run,
That should
RJ.
put Florida up with one heat to go. 50-55 Florida. Elijah. 5 point last heat. Oh no, wait. Alright, so this is six coming up. So I was a little bit wrong there, but six coming up. Florida's up by 5.
RCU down. So the York is through. Let them on next.
55-50. Florida.
No.
He led the whole thing. Chad and I were out front.
I think we beat the minimum lap.
That's wrong. And all of a sudden, Sandy slipped on last lap and asked him
We never fell out.
And they didn't have Chad winning either. Chad in second.
Yeah,
those two were.
Right, we were first and second. I think. What's the minimum lap?
This is gonna be.
It's amazing to think that they're going that fast and that's all on tire grip.
Yeah, and that
You would think they had magnets in
and
them.
that they're exceeding the frickin' lap time on the lap timer. This is gonna be interesting.
All right, that's the first clip. That's all I'm going to be able to show you guys. And if you notice in that last clip, one of the guys says that he thought he led from start to finish. But he didn't win. According to the computer, he didn't win. So what eventually was determined was that they were exceeding the minimum lap time, or the minimum lap time. So they were going faster than what the minimum lap time was set in the computer, which we all believe was 5.6. So they're running these T-Jets faster than 5.6 seconds. That is insane. So what happened, what went on to the next heat, they ran the next heat, and the same thing occurred, and at least 3 people thought that they had more laps than what the computer said that they had. And then it finally came down, and there was a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of talking, a lot of jawing back and forth, a lot of people upset, a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on, and all that kind of stuff. So what happened was both teams walked away from the table with 3 heats to go. That race was never completed. They ran one more heat, which I don't have because that's the one that's on the next clip that would have been on the GoPro. And then after that, it's just all discussion and argument and everything. So I'm sorry I don't have all that, but it's probably a good thing it won't play because there's a lot of cussing, a lot of arguing, a lot of yelling back and forth, a lot of screaming, and I don't think it's really good to show anyway. So the first part of the clip's the cleanest part of the clip, and the last half is not the greatest part of the clip. So I guess it's just the slot car gods saying we shouldn't show this. So now let's go watch the rematch. And the sad thing about the rematch is it wasn't even close. It wasn't even as close as the first heat, the first time on the table. It's kind of sad that it wasn't the fastest, wasn't the greatest heat. It wasn't as close as the first one. But that's the way it ended up. So let's go watch that clip. And then I'll come back and talk to what happened after the race and at the end of the night. So let's go watch this, and then I'll talk to you guys some more.
We got a guy. We need a guy in the dome. Oh, what's going on? Right here.
Right here next to RC also.
Here we go.
All right, guys.
Hey, did we check the minimum lap? Yes, 5 seconds.
Remember, have fun. I will do my best. So you'll end the muzzle.
Here we go. Again.
All right, here it comes.
Oh, come here, Rick. Blue. RV, let's be in front of you. Come here. much better than last time. Yep, there's the 10 minutes. Start together. You can follow us. Have you ever been in an AMA before? You're about to know what it's like.
Once.
You're about to know what it's like.
Once. Wasn't as many people.
Yeah, well, this is where everybody's
Elijah, we tied Bay Area. We didn't finish last, so it's gonna go to laps between us and the Bay Area for that spot. We're not gonna be last because Arcana didn't have a win.
10 seconds, RC.
Nobody go. There it goes.
Ryder, lost the lap. Rip, you don't want to put me out. God, sorry, man. Damn out here.
So we need to make sure that he takes the last one.
Sorry, by mistake, I opened yours first.
Get a lot of evaporated, huh?
Yeah. We were battling until the end, side by side. He didn't start it.
Could have opened it for me.
Because how did you get fourth if you were left? Right? You were left. Yeah. Okay, so what's that change? He got left, right?
We're having issues again.
You got left, right? Both had 9 laps. So how did he get fourth? You wrecked right here. Yeah, but I still finished in front of him. You just added the left. He crossed the counter after. And then I'm like, you were leading, right? Can we just go back? You don't worry about it. There's a way out of this one. No.
There's enough film rolling right now, they can figure it out.
There's one for the last one.
Hell yeah. That's stickers in there? I saw the initials. I know who that is. I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you. That's fine.
I'm trying to get that way. It'll pick it up. I can't see it. What is that score? I can't tell from here.
I don't think it's very close. Let's put it on the track. Hi, Mouse. You all right?
No, I can't. It's too small.
Clayton. Clayton. Clayton, what's the score?
I don't know. I think before that last heat it was 53-31, something like that. Ish.
Yeah, it was closer the first time. It was closer the first time. It was like a point to 2 points apart.
Who's winning it?
I think St. Louis might be, but I'm not sure.
Everybody ready? There you go. Rider, white striker rider, goes to orange. White. Put him in.
Rich.
Underside.
I thought it was the last lap. There you go.
70 something to, yeah, kind of looks like 47. Looks like 70 something to 47. 70.
It was 74.
74, yeah, 74 to 30 something.
Who's leading?
RJ. RJ.
You see it? You see the score?
70 something to 40.
Give or take a point.
If you knew one, you could figure the other. But total points would be
Yeah,
too much math.
too much math. Yeah, I need a calculator.
Between red and yellow. Ooh, DQ coming, I can see.
Everybody ready?
Quint.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Somebody print that.
Yeah.
Print it right now.
Get a picture of a quick one. Take a picture of
Oh man.
Who's coming in?
5 seconds. Yeah, nobody's watching the time. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The bright green car I saw, the yellow car I saw fairly often.
Florida's up. Florida's up.
Oh yeah, what's score?
100 to, I think, 60 something possibly.
Kind of like a 3-year-old.
Yeah, the first one was much closer.
Oh, I know. Richmond Phoenix like a pro representing.
Yeah. What do you want?
They lost and they're like all out and scattered.
That's right.
One more. I missed my mark. We're good. There you go.
say 100 something to 67. It looks like.
122 to 67.
Thanks, Hayden.
So that's the end of the clip. Florida ends up taking it by a wide margin, and that ends up giving them the overall win. So that race was ran after everybody else was done. So there was actually an extra round. There was 13 rounds that ended up turning to be 14 rounds because they had to rerun that race on pink table. So now we're all gathering for awards and everything up at the front, helping put away a few chairs here and there. Word starts to circulate around the hall that Florida has failed tech. We don't know what it is. We don't know what failed tech, but something along the line has failed. Something is different than when the cars were tech the day before, and they were put into park for May or impounded, as it were. We don't know what it is. Speculation starts to run around armatures, and that maybe there was an armature that was hot, it didn't ohm right at the end of the night. That's what we were all thinking. So, while time passes go by, they discuss things start to discussing. Next thing I know, all the team captains are being called out into the lobby of the hall. I've been the team captain for the last 3 years, so this is my first meeting like this. So we get out there, Phyllis and the guy that does tech comes out, lets us know what's going on. What actually happened was 2 of their cars didn't pass post-tech. One, the back was too wide by, just a fraction of a millimeter. It wouldn't pass. If you'd force it through the tech block, it'd go through. But that's one thing. The other one was the front on one of the cars. The retainer had slid out slightly, and it wouldn't pass through the block. But after you pushed it in, it had passed through the block. So, great many discussion while we're out there. Us as a group pretty much decided we didn't want to have to call this. We're friends with everybody. We don't want to have to make this decision. This should be a tech decision. It shouldn't be a group decision. We don't want to step in and all of that stuff. And it finally came down to, I think, Jeff Hurley finally went, after we left that meeting, went to the tech guy and said, let's let what's happened on the racetrack stand. So that's what it came down to it. Florida ends up winning it. And Florida wins the Fray competition overall. That's basically what it comes down to. So that's the video. There is still some bad vibes out there by a couple of people. By looking at Facebook today, there's still a lot of trash going around. So this could be a controversy all the way to next year. So let's just got to keep that in mind. Next year's Fray could be interesting. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. I've got more to come. I've got my racing and Elijah's racing. I've got footage from both the IROC race on Thursday and some of our racing as a group team race on Saturday. So I taped it a little different this year. I didn't tape everything. I picked and chose a couple of tables to show you guys. So just give me some time. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys can see that this is serious. This is racing. No matter if it's a small car or if you're racing on a racetrack in a real car, it's serious, and it is right down to the wire. So I hope you guys like it. And remember, keep racing slot cars. Keep the wheels on the downside. And I'll see you guys in the next video, either today or tomorrow or Wednesday. So keep on the lookout. Videos will probably be going up all week. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye.